Is a Sunseeker Superhawk without a rooster tail still an acceptable proposition? So for those of you who remember the Sunseeker Superhawks of yesteryear, you might remember they used to spray a beautiful big rooster tail out the back, spraying dollar bills, and it was absolutely beautiful. But today we have to pretend to be a little bit more sophisticated. I'm not doing such a great job at that, but this boat is. Ladies and gents, this is the Sunseeker Superhawk 55. This boat, it is sophisticated. It's an absolute statement of a thing. It's the most beautiful boat many of you have ever seen before. I love the looks of this thing. It's very, very elegant and fun to drive, and it's got a fantastic, great amount of accommodation. So for those of you who are coming from a really perhaps fun, open plan, luxurious day boat, and you want something in between going full on yacht, so it's still sexy, it's still fun, but it's not a yacht, this could be the boat for you. I'm talking to you guys. My name's Dan Jones. Welcome to sunny Queensland. Sunny one day, Sunseeker the next. This is the tour. The next video, if you're interested in buying one of these, I'd like to invite you along for a sea trial. We'll be doing that. It's actually super rough offshore, so it's closed out. We didn't go in the ocean, so we did our best to demonstrate the speed and fun factor inshore, and you're very welcome to join along and watch that video. But we'll start up here on the bow. I'll get into the details, and then we'll go right through this boat in as much detail as we possibly can. So this area right here, obviously it's a lounging space. It's got a cover that covers these cushions so you don't have to remove them. You can stow those covers in some storage lockers underneath these seats here. Super large and comfortable, nice angles, single windscreen wiper on the windscreen. The looks on this boat is really what carries it, and it's what it's going to get everyone's attention, and I think it's what's going to sell this boat too. But we'll just keep focusing on the details. We've got light operation, phone charging, we've got multiple zones for the Fusion stereo, drink holders on both sides, and just come with me and see how we can walk through. You've got these floor lights. This is going to carry through a theme on the rest of the boat, but underneath this forward sun lounge, this actually opens up and we have deep storage for anything that you need. We have drink holders on either side, but just stay there because we've got a super cool function. By pulling this out, you can actually boom, boom, connect that whole sunshade just there, and then come up and have a look at this. You actually get another seat just up here on the bow. So this, by sliding it back, exposes another seat, and that angle's perfect, so you can actually just chill and hang here should you wish. So perfect sundowner spot. Next thing, see those lines of deck lighting carrying through. This boat is going to be absolutely gorgeous of an evening, and you'll see what I mean when we get through the rest of her. But we are opening up into the anchor lockers underneath us. But if you say you've got kids or non-boat capable friends who are giving you a hand for the day, you can operate the anchor from the bow. You can do it from the bow, but you can do it from the helm, is what I'm trying to say. And then your friends who aren't so useful, they can still walk up here and put themselves in a safe position and sight the anchor for you, or just whatever needs to be done. Even if they want to get a boat hook and pull a line and put it onto the cleat just here, that's perfect for a mooring line. But the actual anchor operation is all happening below our feet, and it's away from people getting in trouble. I like that from a keeping things simple in a day boat perspective, because your friends aren't necessarily going to be useful. You might need to rely on your own capabilities on a boat like this, especially if you're doing majority fun day boating, and that is something that I've seen myself a lot over the years. And you just need to position yourself in such a way that you can manage the boat yourself, because your friends are going to be a little bit excited because it's such a cool boat. This is something that puts people in a good mood when they see it approaching the dock. It's such a good looking thing. Let's get straight down the port side. You go down the starboard side, Mitch, and I'll show you this door. Stay there, because I just want to show you, we've got these proper ship's doors, which are super cool. Boom, boom. So they lock in place and then they swing out on either side, which is a real statement. The thing looks, it kind of looks quite aggressive when you're coming into the dock and you've got both doors open, but it also gives you sensible access forward and aft. We also have opening little gates on port and starboard just here, so that gives you access to the dock if you need. We got water in, got waste out just behind Mitch, and we have diesel in aft of these doors, and they're accessible on both sides, so the tanks are connected and you can just fill her up on both starboard or port, midships cleat here, and direct access to the helm. But come in, and I think what we'll do, we'll go straight down to the back of the boat, because there's heaps of cool day boat fun features going on here. And I'll start at the transom so we can try to cover everything logically and not forget. It's winter, you know. It's winter in Queensland. No shoes. I love it. That's why you have a boat like this. You need to be in a country or a part of the world where the weather lends itself to day boating, and that's, I think, definitely Australia, Europe and parts of America, where this boat is going to be in its element. But this transom setup, there's heaps going on, so I'll try and cover it piece by piece. We actually have cleats here for fenders. That's not for securing the boat. I would actually secure the boat off those cleats just there. But this whole section, it's a huge, massive swim platform. It actually slides down into the water. So these stairs then connect with the other internal stairs just there. So when you lower the swim platform, it actually provides a stairway into the water and access into your tender garage. So you've got your tender garage accessible when the platform is lowered, but you also have a sea-doo and fender storage space underneath this sun lounge. So that electrically raises, and without having to bend down, you can pull out fenders and lines that you need to secure the boat from a sensible height. So that's cool, but also just get a load of the looks. I'm obviously going to be cutting to some of my drone shots for you here. You've got so many cool styling pieces. I would almost liken it to the Lambo boat in terms of first impressions. Just some of these sorts of details and the external styling. For me personally, this is a really good looking thing, and it would be one of the top reasons that I would focus some attention on a boat like this. So I'll stay on this side so you don't get the sunshine in your eyes. But this sun lounge, the backrests, you can manipulate it forward and aft. So if everyone wants to face aft, they can. Otherwise, this is how much space you have here. And it is a sort of sun lounge that people could sit on and enjoy at speed, because the ride, it's not ridiculous. It's fast. We can do our mid to high 30s, but it's also safe. It's not the kind of boat that you have such crazy acceleration that you worry about the girls falling off the back and disappearing, which could happen on some boats. And I do imagine some of you are going to be coming from maxi ribs like your Techno Hull or your Sax or something like that, and you wanted to get a yacht or something fun and impressive, but you didn't want to go super ridiculous. That's where perhaps a style of boat like this sort of meets that need for you. So you got the kid and doggy doors, beautiful stainless construction on both sides. Come in and have a look. And then you got your cleats just here that go through some nice fair leads. We got some downlights. We got our speakers. The stereo system is awesome. It's multiple zones on this boat. This is your platform operation on the port side. And then we've actually got storage underneath these seats on both port and starboard here in the cockpit. There's lots going on here, which I'll try and cover bit by bit. In terms of comfort factor, the upholstery is like a nice, comfortable outdoor upholstery, and it's well rounded, so everyone's going to be happy there. And then you've got another fusion control, your underwater lights, your deck lights, because we actually have, as I mentioned before, that strip lighting. The theme is carried through the whole boat. We've got overhead strip lights, we have deck strip lights, and then we have under sort of, less in your face courtesy lights as well. So this area is awesome. There's heaps going on. You can obviously manipulate this table so it's halved in size. It will spin around, but you can also do this with these corner seats. You basically just put your foot on this and you push it in, boom, boom. That's maximum all the way. So now you've got clear walk through on both sides, and I can do the same thing on the port side. But if you've got tall friends, you can actually just set it, because it locks in different places depending on how much space you need. That is super cool and no nonsense. Behind these seats, you actually have storage, probably for some safety gear and some inflatable life jackets. Seems like a logical place to put those. And then this will go up and down manually, so then we can turn this whole area into one big sunbed, should we wish. Underneath here is access into the engine bay. We're going to do that later on in the video, but come around and have a look here. This is kind of the heart. We're obviously protected under the fixed roof here, but it's a full-on fun day boat. So we're open to the natural air. Yes, we have clears that can close this space up if you wish, and you can leave them on or remove them. I wanted to take them off because they look cool. But in terms of being protected from the sun, everyone from here forward has got good protection. You can also option it with extra sun protection aft and forward, which we don't have on this boat. Obviously that would be erecting when you're at anchor, not for underway, so just remember that. But in terms of what's going on here in the minibar, you've got one fridge, you have another one on the other side. This is, looks like an ice maker actually, and this is a fridge. These are cool because it stops doors accidentally opening in big waves. The construction of all of these latches and doors and hatches are very high quality. Deep storage just there, and I've actually got a sink just here. Nice pull-up tap just there, so that actually goes all the way across and sits like that. And then we've got a Barbie just here, heat protector on and off, safety, single burner Kenyon just there. And behind, we actually have a flat screen pop-up TV, so everyone can sit there and watch the TV. And we've even got some sensibly placed cubby holes for throwing things. I like that on both sides, deep and actually perfect for throwing handbags or purses, phones, that sort of thing, because all your glassware, you can come around and have a look, is tucked in just in here, and you have the same again on the other side. So it's a proper drinks, barbecue, entertainment station, because we have a proper setup galley downstairs that we'll have a look at in a second. And just look at the stitching here, the Union Jack. It's great, all these hints to the Australian flag. I love seeing that. I just can't find the Southern Cross, but I'm seeing lots of hints to the Union Jack so far, which is great. Good to see the Aussie influence there. I hope you know I'm joking. Anyway, come and focus on the dash. This thing's sexy, it's fun, and it's entertaining because you're not sitting up here by yourself. You've got company from two friends if you wish, and you've got really, really good viz all around. Make sure you guys can see what I'm seeing, because the viz is great. We'll touch on that in the next video. So if you are driving in a busy waterway, you can see everything, but you can also communicate with your guests. So if you are doing those short, fast runs in busy traffic, it's going to be quite enjoyable. So just factor that in. This central seat goes forward and aft, and each seat has a flip-up bolster and armrest. We have a drink holder on both sides, but we've got two more just here, and they are the wider type and drain, so you can have a tinny with a cooler in there, no problems. So your day is actually going to start down here, because you have your access to all your battery switches just here, which is a sensible location. Once you've got the power on, you can individually start to activate everything else. But in terms of what is here at the dash, come in and have a little bit of a closer look. You've got flat screen Garmin just here, a second display on the port side. We have the analog gauges for both of the IPS 950s. We got the AC just there. You've got your engine, start, stop and ignition in here. Perfect place for throwing keys here. Fireboy system. We also have some plug-in for charging phones. However, you don't need to charge phones because you have a flat pad phone charger just there below the wheel. It's an IPS, so we've got the joystick for parking. You can option it with the DPS, so the dynamic positioning system, if you wish. We have a variable speed electric thruster, and that's the throttles for normal operation. We've got Volvo interceptors for trim on this one. We've got the Sunseeker dash. I forget what this is actually called, but come in close and just have a look. We can cycle through all the different information. Let me just grab the camera and show you this, because you can actually go from power. You can probably see more of my reflection there, but you can do fuel tanks, bilges, lighting, everything you need that's boat related. Windscreen wipers, however, I also saw windscreen wiper wash operation just there. So that's pretty useful. Probably takes a little bit of getting used to. I don't claim to be the expert on that particular system, but the other ones I have tried seem to be fairly logical. We've got the keypad for the touch screens, the multifunctionals just here if you need, but these are also touch screens. We have anchor up and down there and there. This is our anchor lights. We've got a horn, and then our engine room blower and our emergency alarm just there. This is a sensible spot here for putting some of your covers away, so that's a nice and close to the helm. We're on the FlexiTeak, same door again on this side, subwoofer there, and you actually step up, but you've still got a decent amount of headroom. I'm 5'7", I've still got a foot of headroom above my head. And then even at my standing position, I'm looking through the glass. I'm not looking at the metal bar across the windscreen. I think even if you were, you would just sit down and drive, because then you're going to get a good clear line of sight, and it's a comfortable position, and it's so sexy. You've got to have the open windscreen like this. I think it would be criminal not to have it. Come around and let's go downstairs. This companionway door is quite heavy. Everything on this boat seems to be built to a very high standard. So I'm noticing that as I open and close every single hatch and crawl around the bilge like I have been today. But this is heavy, so it doesn't feel like it's gonna accidentally slide and close. I don't see a lock, but I think it's actually designed just to slide slowly. Got a bit of grip tape here. You come down these nice stairs and get a load of this. We have so much space. Come on down. The vibe that you get down here is pretty special. I see another hint to the Australian flag just up here. That's clearly the Union Jack. I love it. And the feeling you get with the window here, the window there, and all of these windows, it's like a private party place. That's the vibe I'm getting right now. It's very secluded if you want it to be, but you got good views out. So we have the blinds here and there. We can turn it down and get total privacy, but then we get all of the light from above. So it really enables you to set the scene if you wish. This is a beautiful, comfortable couch, and we really have just a lot of open space to do with what you wish. So Sunseeker, if you want them to build a coffee table or some sort of cool drop-down vanity in the middle here, they're the kind of factory that will do that for you. So it's kind of up to you. If you want to put a TV up in the bulkhead, you do you, but just pay attention to all the finer details. Like curves are always harder to make. You'll look underneath these stairs just here, see how they've finished off with this painted fiberglass under the timber stairs. They didn't need to do that, but somebody obviously cared. And even this texture just here opposing against the timber, it's quite a nice touch. So anyone who has an attention to detail will appreciate this. Air conditioning, controls, we've got power plugs dotted around. We do also have an opening port. But I think what we'll do after I finish with the galley, we'll head forward, and then I want you to jump into the comments and tell me which one you think the master is, because I'm actually not too sure. They're very nice cabins, both of them, and you could argue this is the master or that's the master. So jump in the comments and let me know what you think. But in terms of the galley, we can put another fridge down here if you choose. We can also have a dishwasher, drawer dishwasher if you choose. This is storage at the moment. That's the Millet cooker. We've got the 2-burner just there, the single stainless sink. I've actually been told that this is the best coffee in the world, according to Mitch. Is that what you're saying? The best coffee in the world? What's it called? All press espresso black coffee from New Zealand. So there you go, little plug for best coffee apparently in the world. Freezer, full stand-up fridge, storage, access into the bilge, and we have the water tank on the center line. We have the black tank forward of that, and I also saw the sump box right forward of the black tank. Everything is accessible. The bilge is deep. You can actually get in there, and it's finished to a high standard. Lots of flow coat and sensible fittings and fixtures, kind of quality that you'd see on a Riviera, to be fair. So come on in here and have a look at this cabin. Look at this lovely whole window. Look at the picture that you get. So whether you're sitting up against that bulkhead or standing here, you've got a lovely view, and you can knock it out with these manual blinds on either side if you want some privacy. But you've got nice curves on the leather, curved timber, good texture up on the bulkhead there. Above that is actually an escape hatch, but also opening for natural ventilation, and 2 ports on either side. This area is air conditioned, so it's kind of like you do you. But look at all these curves everywhere. Nobody is going to be injuring themselves on any sharp edges if you're rolling around in some waves or something. You're not going to have any issues. You can put phones on either side. You've also got 2 drawers under the bed here, which are going to be, well, not drawers, sorry. These ones are cupboards. I saw drawers in the other bed, which is good for some bedding. Access to the bow thruster is through this floor hatch here. You can option a flat screen TV of your choice for this bulkhead, and see how we've got this different textured material carried through that we saw in the main saloon. And even this nice black to wrap a potential TV there is quite nice. We've got a big storage and hanging locker in there, air conditioning. The doors are on rubber seals and nice and thick, so that's going to be good for sound insulation. But come and have a look at this head, because that's glass. Because this one's got she's got a pretty good separate shower. Like, that's Corian or marble, I don't know, it looks like marble. But plenty of space here. We can open this hatch, nice loo holding tank, storage with the vanity, beautiful big mirror. The styling, it's elegant and it's not overdone. I think it's quite pleasant, actually. So you can go out of this private space straight into the main saloon and into this full beam cabin. And then I'm going to show you the head on this one, and I want you to tell me what you think. I think this is just a vessel with 2 masters, to be fair, because we've got storage on either side, matched on both port and starboard. You've got extra space. You have heaps of throw cushions. You could just chuck them up here. You still have, can you see these hull windows from where you are? Like, pretty decent hull windows in terms of a view, and you can knock them out with the manual blinds as well. We've got a small drawer, charging points with 12 volt USB-C and A, or B and C, well, the 2 different types, you know what I'm talking about, the little and the big one. And then both sides have actually got these hanging lockers, place for your shoes. That's a flat screen TV just there, and you actually have full stand-up headroom here. And then when you go up this step here, you lose a little bit, and that's because of the external styling on this boat is the primary focus. We want this thing to be good looking from every angle, which I absolutely believe they have achieved, and therefore you've got to sacrifice in some places. Now, this head's not as good as the other head. It's as simple as that. It is elegant, it's functional, but the separate shower is a curtain, and it's combined with the loo here. Again, you've got to do what you've got to do if you want to achieve these sorts of levels of external good looks. So it's a bit of a compromise compared to the other one, but you are sleeping back here. We've got the generator on right now and the gyro, so it's perfectly quiet, and we're in the middle of the boat, so we don't have any potential noise from the anchor. So something to think about. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Now let's have a look at the engine space. And I think it's fair to argue that most of you will not be going down here because you will have if you have a boat like this, you're going to have a mechanic to look after it for you. But the engine space, it is tight. But we better go down and have a look because it's still very professional. Chuck me that camera. It's definitely a one-man job down here. So I'm looking port. We have 2 fuel tanks. And I'm looking over the port motor, IPS 950, and it is a crawl space. You could get around, but it's not super easy. And then we can see the genset on the center line and the gyro aft of the genset, the raw water pickup just there, the fireboy system, power distribution on the forward bulkhead. Now we're looking on the starboard side. That's the starboard side motor. So if you were going to get around the motors, you would probably go this way. And then you can see our battery boxes aft, the IPS unit. So once you get after the motors, there is a lot more space. But again, if we're focusing on looks and we still want to have a tender garage and we still want to have all these options, you are sacrificing on headroom in the engine bay. I just think that's one of those things. Again, it's probably not going to be you that's doing any of this servicing anyway. All right, the test drive video is coming up next for those of you who are interested. We'll just do a quick wrap up on the Sunseeker 55 Superhawk. Who or what demographic is going to see the most value, in my personal opinion, out of this boat, and then what boats should we compare this to? I'll touch on the competition in the next video. Definitely social people. I think if that's in your nature, this is a boat for you. So I do absolutely believe if you have come out or are intending on getting out of your luxury maxi rib, I'm thinking something like a Techno Hull, something like a Sax or a Pirelli. If that's your past boat life, and you're moving into the direction of a yacht, but you still want something sporty and fun and really, really good to entertain in, but has accommodation and can still accommodate kids and can still accommodate a family, then this is something to focus on. Basically, that's where I see this making the most sense to those of you. I think this appeals to a select crowd. To be fair, this is not a mass market boat. This is not going to have mass market appeal. This is a unique boat. It's a special boat, and it's probably only going to be one of a few out on the harbour. I don't see this as being something that's trying to appeal to the whole world. So if that's you, this will suit. Some design feedback or considerations for you. This boat is designed to catch the sun. It's designed to enjoy the fresh air, and therefore you're going to need to prepare time or somebody else's time to pack it up for you. Okay, you do have covers, you are going to have clears, there might be a few covers on the seats or out the back of the boat. That takes time. I know a lot of you are busy and you don't have time, so pay somebody, all right? Or just if you've got kids, pay them. So just think about that, but that is a consideration, especially if you came from your big rib before and you're used to just getting on the boat, putting the engines down, turning the batteries and the engines on, and that's all you have to do. There is a bit more setup work involved in preparing something like this. Just a little bit more time to your day, manage around it, okay? There's always a solution. So performance feedback, that's coming up in the next video. Competition that's direct or at least for your consideration, I'll touch on that in the next video. If you're trying to buy one of these boats and you want to ask or talk to me directly, Connect is the only place to do that. Link is down below in the description. Do remember to subscribe, share these videos with your mates, because it's your support that opens doors with the factory so I can test more of these boats for you. And please tell me what boat you have now or what boat you're comparing this with, because if I know enough of you are comparing this with something else, I will annoy the factory to try and get the keys and film it for you. It really, really does help. Love you lots. See you in the next video. It's a great day here in Queensland, so I wish you were here. See you guys.